Right friends, welcome back to Capsules. This is the fourth one. We are going to deliberate on G20 summit. Recently 11th G20 summit was held in Hangzhou, China. Please look into this slide. This is the location of Hangzhou, China. And if you go back to the historical perspective of G20, in fact this concept of a G20 emanated long back in 1999, and initially ministerial level meetings used to be held from 1999 to 2007. Initially, the finance ministers as well as the central bank governors used to attend ministerial level meetings from 1999 onwards. Subsequently, the summit level meetings of heads of state started in the year 2008 subsequent to the world financial crisis, and in the year 2009 and in the year 2010, these summits were held once in 6 months, and subsequently from 2011 onwards, these are being held annually. And this Hangzhou summit is the 11th summit, and 12th summit will be held next year, that is July 2017 in Hamburg, Germany. You may ask, what is the main purpose of this G20 forum? The main purpose is economic development across the world, and at the same time global financial stability. On one side, economic development, and on the other side, global financial stability. And at the same time, it consists of 20 countries. Specifically speaking, 19 individual countries along with the European Union. The 19 individual countries include both the developed countries like United States of America, Germany, France, Japan. At the same time, emerging economies. And please look into this slide. These are the countries. Emerging economies include India, Brazil, Argentina, Mexico. These are all emerging economies, and this G20 forum includes developed countries as well as emerging economies along with European Union. Strictly speaking, 19 countries and European Union. As I have already told you, the main focus is economic development as well as international or global financial stability. And if you look at further information on G20, this G20 constitutes 85% of world GDP. These 20 countries together constitute 85% of world GDP, 80% of world trade. And if you exclude the trade among the countries of European Union, then it comes to 75%. If you include the trade among the countries of European Union, then it will come to around 80%. Overall, it constitutes 75 to 80% of world trade, 2/3 of world population. This G20 constitutes 2/3 of world population and no permanent secretariat. And here the host country head will be chairman. When the summit is held in Hangzhou, China, the chairman will be the president of China. And discussions normally take place on international financial and monetary policies, reform of international financial institutions, and world economic development. And please don't forget, the summit place Hangzhou is 169 kilometers from Shanghai, and this 169 kilometers journey can be covered within 45 minutes by bullet train in China. And at the same time, on behalf of the Prime Minister, in regular meetings, Sherpa will attend. Sherpa means he is the representative of the head of state, and from Indian side, the Sherpa is Aravind Panagaria. So these things please don't forget. And the theme for 2016 G20 summit is towards an innovative, invigorated, interconnected and inclusive world economy. And if you look at other aspects, in addition to some guest countries will be called. In addition to some guest countries, international organizations are also invited. The international organizations which are invited, I have listed here. One is International Monetary Fund, then World Bank. These two are Washington based institutions. World Trade Organization, which looks at trade related problems. This is Geneva based organization. then United Nations, New York based organization, then Financial Stability Board. This is based in Basel, Switzerland. Very few of you may be aware about the Financial Stability Board. This Financial Stability Board is headquartered in Basel, Switzerland. International Labour Organization, this is a Geneva based organization. OECD, this represents the group of countries committed to democracy and capitalistic economy, and this is based in Paris. Then Food and Agriculture Organization, this is Rome based organization. Rome is in Italy. So, in addition to some guest countries, these international organizations are also involved. You may ask a pertinent question, what are the issues at present which are of vital concern? The first and the foremost is issue with regard to South China Sea. And if China is not obeying the tribunal verdict, then the $1,000,000 question is what will happen to UNCLOS? Then second important point is, can the world say no to competitive devaluation of currencies? Last year China devalued its currency. China is a predominantly export oriented country. It can do devaluation, and if some other country resort to devaluation, then what will happen? It will lead to competitive devaluation. So, basically devaluation of currency is done to promote exports, and the question here is, can the world say no to competitive devaluation of currencies? Third burning topic in the world is excess capacity creation by China in steel industry. It is dumping steel products in several countries at below market price. Then not only in steel, China's overcapacity creation is creating misery to even developed economies. Low prices of Chinese products destroyed almost 3 million jobs across the world, and European Union itself lost 2 lakh jobs. And anti-dumping measures. What are anti-dumping measures? Countries resort to anti-dumping measures when they are getting imports at less than market price. And in recent times, during the past 6 years, anti-dumping measures against Chinese exports by G-20 group of countries increased around 47%. And now some countries like Australia, UK are blocking Chinese investments. And another important aspect is developed economies are resorting to low interest rate policies. And even with low interest rate policies, it is not able to give impetus to growth. So, these are the issues of concern in the world today. But what was discussed? Let us look at the outcome. They are pledged to work for fair international tax system along with the cooperation on BEPS. BEPS is base erosion and profit shifting. Basically, multinational companies resort to this practice by establishing their base in tax havens, and this lead to tax avoidance. So, the G20 countries pledged to work for cooperation in BEPS. At the same time, fight against tax evasion by asking OECD for a blacklist of tax havens. Then second point is G20 will work for addressing the issue of cross-border financial flows due to illicit activities. That means hawala money is going from one country to other country. Not only that, because of under-invoicing, over-invoicing in cross-border trade, lot of money is going from one country to other country, that is illicit money, and G20 will work for addressing this issue. And the third important point is it favors international trade and investments, and it opposes protectionism. This protectionism is taking momentum nowadays after Brexit. Now countries are looking at protectionist measures to save their industry, to save the jobs to their nationals. So, under these circumstances, G20 favored international trade and investments and opposed protectionism and fiscal stimulus to boost economic growth. and strong, sustainable, balanced and inclusive growth. At the same time, it admitted refugees is a global issue and the burden must be shared by all the countries, and also called for strengthening humanitarian assistance for refugees. So these are the points discussed, and if you analyze critically, they are general in nature. No tangible outcome. After the galaxy of leaders gathered for 2 days, no tangible outcome, no specific outcome. That's why you can say it's a clear failure, right? So with this, let us conclude the 4th capsule. Please do join for News in Focus and read between the lines. Have a nice day. Thank you.